Hello there, JCCC. Welcome to another edition of the Cavalier Sports Report. I'm your host, Jean Cantero. Joining me today is JCCC Hall of Famer and head coach for the men and women's tennis team, Glen Moser. Coach, thank you for joining me today.
Hey, it's a pleasure to be here.
Now, Coach, there's less than 2 weeks before the season gets underway. What are you working on the most in practice before then?
Well, luckily we have indoor court time, and so Monday, Wednesday, Fridays we go indoors. We're hitting all the shots and trying to hit as many as we can in an hour and a half. And what we lack in is really the ability to play matches. Mm-hmm. So we just have to do the best we can in that hour and a half. Then on Tuesday, Thursday, we condition. Okay. And any day we can get outside, we're going to do that. Mm-hmm. That just hasn't happened this spring yet.
Right,
so
yeah, it's been
hopefully tomorrow.
Okay. Hopefully good weather tomorrow. Now, as I said before, you coach both the men's and women's teams. How does your coaching style differ, if at all, between both of those?
Probably very little difference. They're athletes and they both are competitive, but the women are a tad more sensitive, especially after a tough loss, and so I probably raise my voice a little more with the guys than I do the gals, and maybe I shouldn't, but kind of natural. I've got 2 daughters and a son at home, and I did the same thing with them. So.
No problem. Well, last year, the 2013 season was very successful for both teams. Why were they so successful? What happened last year that made them be so good?
Well, I hate to make it sound so simple, but recruiting is huge. A lot of college coaches will tell you simply 90% of, and the other 5% is scheduling and conditioning and so forth. But you have to have good athletes. And boy, last year we had some good ones. And the women especially were strong. And the men actually didn't do as well as I hoped it. And we finished in the top 10 for 7, 8, 9 years, and we were 11th last year. But in looking over the teams in the past at that national tournament, I honestly think the 10 teams were talented. We probably deserved where we finished. So
That's terrific. Well, congrats on that great season.
Well, thank you.
And now you mentioned about recruiting. What do you look for in a player when you're recruiting?
Okay, it's interesting. Back when I started 36 years ago, we would put signs up in the cafeteria where I'd visit a physical education class and see if there are any athletes. And he said, now I sit in the office and view videotapes from all over the world. Right. And so the recruiting's really changed, but some of the things you look for, of course, is footwork. In tennis, racket speed is huge. And you see somebody with a slow racket, they're probably not going to work out. I can pretty much look at a video and in 30 seconds know if they can help us or not. But there's so much more you got to learn than from a video. Their desire, their work ethic, they can try to fool you on videos, and certainly their record where they're coming from. So we got to look into that for recruits as well.
Yeah, it's amazing how much technology has changed over these past years. Different recruiting techniques. Now, who do you say is the Cavaliers' main rival in tennis?
Oh, that's an easy one, Gene. That would be Cali County. I have 36 years here. Our men and women have won 24 region championships, and when we didn't win them, Cali was won about every other one. Barton's won a few, and the men especially, but it always gets down to us in Cali. It's turned out to be more of a friendly rivalry than it has been. Depends who's coaching there, and their present coach and I are good friends, but yeah, we get after it, so Cali County.
Now, to conclude every season is a national tournament, and both of your teams are consistently there. What do you think makes them be there all the time, which is awesome? Well,
yeah, we provide a good schedule for them, for one thing. We play a lot of 4-year colleges during the season. Okay. And we're pretty competitive with the 4-year colleges. So I kind of convince my kids that, you freshmen and sophomore, we got to be sophomores and seniors, to stay with those players. So, playing that good schedule really helps. And then, again, it gets down to recruiting, having a lot of talent, and we do get fired up for regionals and nationals. It's so rewarding at the end of the season. I wouldn't know what I'd do if we didn't make it to a national tournament, because the men failed one year, and boy, we were really good that year. But there were 3 other teams that were ahead of us, and they were excellent. So but it's a great way to end the season. Great tournament too. Yeah, now, a while back you mentioned you've been here for 36 years. That's awesome. What has kept you in the Cavalier family for so long? Money.
Money.
No,
Yes.
I'm joking there. No, it's a great place. It's been a great place to work. I mean, I'm a Midwestern person, and I enjoy the seasons. The college, you know, I've seen it grow, you know, since '77 to now. It's incredible, and I bring recruits in, and a lot of them come here with the intention they're not going to come here.
Okay.
And I show them around the campus, and we end up getting them. So
Okay.
probably not so much me as it is this college sells itself.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
I cannot tell you how many students are so happy with their teachers that they have here. I just had a couple the other day that have gone into four-year schools, and they said they just don't compare with what they had here. And it's a good feeling. So. And the other thing is I really enjoy an athlete's freshman and sophomore year.
Yeah.
To me, I think it's their most enthusiastic. It's a real change for them. And, you know, sometimes by the time they're a senior, they're thinking of their job and graduation and maybe marriage. So those first 2 years, they're fun, and they're fun to be around.
Yeah.
So they've helped keep me young a little. So I've appreciated that.
Well, Coach, I think I can speak for everyone here that we're very appreciative for you coaching our tennis teams, being so successful after all these years. We really thank you for that, and I'd like to thank you for joining me today as well.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And that's all for this edition of the Cavalier Sports Report. I'm your host, Jean Cantero. We'll see you next time, Cavs.